Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a little review on a haunted house called BoogerWoods. Okay, so for you guys who know me and have actual relationships with me, or hello, welcome to my channel, you know I am obsessed with all things Halloween and basic, and you're probably like, Audrey, it's December. Now, I know that. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. But I am doing this review for the next Halloween to help people out. I went to a bunch of different haunted houses. I went to a bunch of different Halloween themed events this year in the North Carolina, Charlotte area, and I wanted to share my thoughts and opinions on some of them. I had some great experiences that I do want to share with you, as well as the experience that I had at BoogerWoods, and I just want to go ahead and give you my summary, my thoughts, and my opinions. So, BoogerWoods is a family-owned and operated haunted trail. I have quite a bit of thoughts about it. Now, some of the things that a lot of people complain about or say is that, one, we're just going to start with how you get your tickets. Now, you have to get your tickets in advance. So you have to get your tickets the afternoon before the event even takes place. So you have to go in the afternoon to go buy your tickets to come back in the evening. Now it sounds convoluted, but it's actually a great way of doing it if you are a smaller business and you can't do the whole online thing. I understand people who complain about the inconvenience of it, but I assure you it really does make a huge difference. I went to 5 different things over this past Halloween season, and there were multiples of them that were super convoluted in terms of just getting into the event itself. The wait times were forever, or it was just a big old cluster of having to deal with all of the waiting, the lines, not understanding where to be, and all the chaos that ensues with all of that. They did a really good job of having you get your tickets early. They make you get them in the afternoon, and then you can come to that evenings. Now, that is one of the big positives. So, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna dive straight into some of the things I really did not like about BoogerWoods. So, first of all, they have horrible pacing. The entire event is really just lagging, and you have all kinds of issues in terms of the actual trail itself, where you're gonna feel like you're waiting. You're waiting on them to set up. And my advice to BoogerWoods here is that they need to either have less complicated setups or allow more time so that they're able to have each individual thing set up so that their actors aren't put under the pressure where they need to just think on the fly to allow whatever that next thing is to get ready. Because there was a lot of just like awkward standing, waiting, and just that's not where you want to be when you're in a haunted event. You want to be go, go, go. It has to be sensory overload. That's the one thing I've learned the longer I've been going and the more interested I've become in the whole phenomenon of haunted trails, houses, and whatnots. It has to all be timed perfectly to make sense, and they did a very bad job at that. Now, we're gonna go on to our next kind of red flag for me. Was I found them to be very overbearing and have a lot of agendas and political opinions into their events, which I haven't really seen anywhere else, but it was definitely very noted. They were a very God-friendly, Jesus-friendly event space, which there's nothing wrong with that. I myself am a Catholic. I am just think it's strange when you try to impose your will upon others. We got there and we got into the event, and the first thing that we did was, with our group, we were taken into a room and we were told that we were to refrain from swearing or profanity, and it was just a very strange kind of thing to say to a group of adults. I don't believe in telling people what to do, and it was very weird. And I did notice that when I got there that there were Bible pamphlets around there. Yet again, doesn't really put me specifically off, but I just think it's kind of a weird time to just insinuate your opinions and beliefs. Now, this also pours out into, if you have gone through the comments and read any of the things BoogerWoods has put up in response to other people's feedback, you'll notice that they don't always have the best response. I'm going to go back to that later towards the end of the video, but if you are watching this, especially BoogerWoods, if anyone from this group of people is watching, please watch all the way to the end, because I'm trying to give you constructive criticism to help you understand. I'm not trying just to say terrible things about you, and I'm trying to help other people understand what they're getting themselves into if they do decide to purchase a ticket. Now, one thing I will say about BoogerWoods that is a big plus is that they do have all of the money is going to a charity, and it's for some type of cancer. Unfortunately, I don't remember which type. Like I said, neither here nor there. You're here to have a good time. Now, the next thing I am going to say is overcrowding. Now, this goes along with political agenda as well, because we just went through a pandemic. And whether you want to acknowledge that or not, or whether you want to admit the pandemic was real or not real, you have to identify the fact that culture has changed. Whether you accept the facts or not, it doesn't really matter. Culture has changed. We don't fill up all of the seats in places anymore because it's just weird. People don't touch strangers. I mean, sometimes we still touch strangers, but you're not supposed to. So they put us in groups of 10. And I know it doesn't sound like a lot, and in some ways it wouldn't be, but at BoogerWoods there were multiple events where they crammed way too many people into things. We first started and we got into this wagon, which was really cool. It was actually a very cool thing. It was very interactive, but we got into it and there weren't enough seats for all of us, and people were sitting on top of each other because there just wasn't enough space. And then after that, there was multiple other situations like that where people were shoulder to shoulder or laying on top of each other in certain contraptions. So it wasn't really comfortable, and I was just like I felt very weird having to touch other people that I didn't know. It was really strange. And another problem with the overcrowding was in their style of haunted trail. It's kind of a walk along. Like, you have two guides that are leading you through this haunted trail, and they lead you into a room and they kind of set up a scene and they're talking. But a lot of times in each one of these rooms, they're too small for a whole circle to fit all the way around. So unless you're like really pushing your way up to the front, you can end up getting knocked out and not even seeing what's happening. There was another scene that they had that was in a makeshift bar, which was interesting, but the fake bartender told everyone to sit at the bar, and there weren't enough seats for me and my friend to even participate in what they were looking at. So I don't even know what they were looking at because there was no space for us. So I would say maximum amount of people that they should be putting through there is 6, really, because you don't need people shoulder to shoulder or on top of each other or not fitting in together. Like, you need to have that space, not only because of the pandemic, but also just because it's uncomfortable. It's not like my desire to go up and have to like squeeze onto some random stranger that I don't know. And it's also just not visually compatible with some of the things that they're attempting to do. So that would be one of my other big problems. Now, another thing that was an issue was the acting was really bad. They have these two guides and they're kind of creating a story. They have like, we had Ma and Pa, and they were just, it's not my thing, you know. I prefer a haunted trail that speaks for itself. I don't really want to have actors with me. Now, if that's their thing, that's their thing, but the other thing is their humor wasn't really for me. It was very childish and juvenile, you know. There's a lot of toilet humor, like talking about poop and talking about gross things like baby vomit, and it's just like, what? You know, it's not really scary. Now I'm just like cringing. A lot of time was spent picking on individuals in the group to kind of make a laugh out of it, and it just was not funny, or it was just not what you want. I wasn't coming for a comedy skit or show. I was coming for a haunted trail. Now, another thing would be too much time was focused on singular bit parts. So a lot of times we'd walk into a room or a segment or a section, and we'd be standing there for a minute to wait on whatever was going to happen, and so you knew it was going to happen. And you'd get there, lights would strobe, and then it'd be over, and then you'd be on to the next thing. So there was a lot of standing, talking with the guides, actors, and then they would kind of set you up for a little creepy scene, and then all of a sudden the thing would happen, and then you would leave. So it was the same. And that just got really boring. Eventually you're just like, okay, what's next? Okay, we're in this room, so what's the thing? Very reliant also on strobe lights, extremely reliant on strobes and lighting, and it was just very in your face, and that's okay. I mean, a lot of haunted houses and events use strobe lights, but it was just like, we would get into a room, standing there, the scene's set, they've already done their little talking, joking bit where they've got us in position, all of a sudden, strobe, chainsaws, music, and now we go to the next thing. Another thing, the actors totally are not supposed to touch you, but I was touched several times by the actors. Not saying that that doesn't happen sometimes, but this one of the actors in the strobing situation, they accidentally sawed off my foot with their chainsaw, and I know that they don't have the chain on them, obviously. So, but it's just like, it's kind of sketchy that they get that close to you with objects, and I don't know, for me that was a kind of a no as well. The setup to get to one moment. Overcrowding and bad acting. So that kind of sums up most of my cons, and the fact that it's just a big comedy skit. The entire thing is just kind of like funny. They even tried to make us dance at one point, and I'm just like, so here are some of my positives that I do want to touch on. The quality of the staging is impeccable. It is one of the best I have ever seen. So there is that. They have great atmosphere and sets. Like, they have this one pirate ship. It's so cool. They have slides, merry-go-rounds that are in use. They had us get in a tractor. They had us get in another thing that was just like a spinning wheel. It's like, it felt like a baby redneck carnival. And that was kind of fun. It was fun. And it is, but the thing is, it's just not enough when the pacing is so off and you are just going to arrive to one thing, then the next thing. So for me, they have a ton of potential in that, but they just need to figure out how to set up faster or allow less overcrowding so that they have more time to set things up. Long lasting. So tickets, I believe they were $25 each. They were either 25 or 30. And it is a long lasting thing. It's about an hour. So the entire walkthrough. Now, if you're not having a good time, like I wasn't towards probably about like 30 minutes in, then it's a long time, but you are getting your money's worth. You're doing the whole thing. It's a lot of different scenes, and you get to go through a lot of really cool setups that they've done. Now, this is a haunted house I would recommend thoroughly for children or teens. So like maybe not your little kids, but definitely like, I have like an 8-year-old brother who I would consider bringing there, and my 12-year-old brother, he is the perfect age for it. So if you're younger or you scare really easy, you know, and you have kids, this is a great kind of first introductory haunted house that I would totally 100% recommend. Now, if you're an adult and you're a scare junkie, then I would not bother going to BoogerWoods. Now, There are some other things I wanted to address I had mentioned earlier. Now, I saw that when BoogerWoods gets a negative comment or a constructive criticism, they don't always take so kindly to it, because I decided I originally did review the Google reviews for BoogerWoods because I wanted to check it out. I had heard about it before, I never went, and I did. I saw a lot of positive things, and after I went, I had questions like, did I misread that? Did I not read into it? And as I looked, I kind of saw some other people commenting similar opinions, such as that it was for younger children or wasn't quite what they were expecting. And I did see BoogerWoods' reply, so I wanted to go ahead and insert some of those here. So this person, they left them three stars. Not what we were expecting. We drove from an hour away because the reviews are so good, but it wasn't even scary. These reviews have to be from people who work there. It was more of a guided tour through different whimsically themed party rooms. There was dancing, slides, and fast spinning rides they don't warn you about. Definitely more of a fun middle and high school kids, but not for adults. Our guide was kind of rude as well. He was irritated we got lost in the maze, then the lady guide kept pushing us, and we came out of each theme room laughing and talking about it. Definitely won't be back. You can tell they put a lot of effort into it, but we're looking for a scary, not whimsical tour of party rooms. And that is exactly how I feel, actually. They didn't say anything really that bad to them. They just said it's whimsical party rooms, which it is. It very much is. It's not scary. The guides are a little rough. I mean, they weren't, but yeah. And then it says, sorry you did not like it. We are a family-friendly attraction that has been around 42 years and sells out each year. So we must be doing something right. As far as the reviews, believe me, they are not from the people in it. If you want to be tied up and stuff crammed in your face, then this is not your place. Have a good day. That's not what they're saying, BoogerWoods. At other haunted houses, that is not what goes on. Have you ever been to another haunted house? 1-star review. I cannot make myself clear enough. Do not go here if you are actually wanting to be scared. This was laughable. I drove an hour here to get a jump scared maybe once in the entire 45 minutes. I was there. There was dancing, there was silly string, only meant for kids. I'm sorry, BoogerWoods, but I expected so much more from you. No one told me it was family friendly. By all means, y'all keep doing what you're doing, but for those of us seeking a thrill, this was not it. And then, again, BoogerWoods with the responses. Sorry, you did not like it. Yes, we are family friendly. Friendly, haunt, and proud of it. If you want to go to a haunt where they curse you, spit on you, stick stuff in your face, this isn't the place for you. Been doing it for 42 years, so we must be doing something right. But anyway, thank you for helping find a cure for cystic fibrosis. That's what they do, cystic fibrosis. But yet again, BoogerWoods, what's with all the attitude? You are a business. Chill out. Oh my gosh, like that is rude. I understand their comment is a little snappier, but even that 3-star review, you acted like this is not constructive criticism. They are being honest with you. Do not list yourself as this scary haunted house and then not expect this, because you're not scary, you're funny, you're putting on comic relief the entire time. And honestly, in the last review where they talk about all of the rides and things, some of those aren't really ideal for adults, especially the fact that you cram 10 people into them. It would be more suited for middle schoolers because they fit, because they're smaller. So, and also not all adults are gonna want to get on a spinny ride. So, BoogerWoods, like, you're honestly sticking more stuff in people's faces than, like, silly string and, chainsaws. That was from me specifically. But, I mean, I just think the way that they address things really rubs me the wrong way because, you're a business, people are attempting to help you with their reviews, and even the people that are giving you negative feedback, you should take that and actually listen, because there's multiple other people here that say the same thing. Put an age rating on it. If you want to keep doing it the exact same way you are, even if you keep doing it the same way, you should still lessen the amount of people you have. 1. You should also still work on the pacing, because parts of it are boring. Even if it is supposed to be funny, sweet, cute, and adorable for children, there's still no reason. There's just no reason this whole thing took an hour. It should definitely only take 30 minutes, because you just shouldn't have to sit down and do nothing as many times as we did. You can take your children, you can take your friends that scare easy, but yet again, you still might not want to, because they're packing way too many people in there like canned sardines. I think that was my biggest turnoff to the entire thing, was just that I was groped by so many people, not because of them being creepy, but because I was jammed into many little roller coastery things with multiple individuals squishing my body. So that was the worst part of it. You definitely get a 2-star rating from me. You have incredible architecture and a decent setup. Like, comment, subscribe, and BoogerWoods, I hope you stayed towards the end so that you could learn a little something about how to be nicer to your people that give you comments, and also just how to not pack people in like sardines. Bye!